Hi guys, so I wanted to create this video to enlighten you guys on what analysis by division is. I recently came across this topic and I realized that there's limited information on the internet. So I hope this is helpful to those of you who are seeking to understand this topic better. So, what is analysis by division, and why is analysis by division different from the other methods of writing? Like, what makes it so unique, or what makes it different from those other methods of writing? So, all you need to do is answer these three questions, and then you'll have your answer. What are the parts, components, aspects of the subject? What are the characteristics, features, attributes of the subject? And what forms can the subject adapt? Now, when you answer these three questions, you'll realize that it is different from other methods. I'll use classification for comparison reasons, right? It's in this case, it's different from classification because we're not grouping anything. We don't want to see the different types of whatever the subject is. What we want to do is break down the subject and see what it is made up of, right? So whenever you see a topic that is breakable, that you can break down, then more than likely you must use the analysis by division method because you can see the different characteristics or the different components, parts that make up that particular whole. Right? So individually, we already know what analysis means and we already know what division means. So it applies the same in this term analysis by division as well. It's not different. So in this case, division refers to breaking up the subject into various components, and that is where the subtopic slash subpoints come in, which you will see as we move forward with this presentation, right? So if we have an entire a subject which is the whole that can be broken down with different subpoints, and most of the time they tell you stick to 3 or 4 subpoints, and those 3 or 4 subpoints are the components, should be, right, must be, have to be the components of the subject itself. And I will try to better explain this as we move on. Analysis, on the other hand, is when we examine how each of these subtopic or subpoint is relevant to the subject and each other basically. It helps to better understand the subject as a whole. So if we're saying that a characteristic of the alpha dog personality is, superb leadership skills, how does superb leadership skills, how is that relevant to the alpha dog personality? And so it is your responsibility there to analyze how superb leadership skills is relevant to the main topic, the whole, which is the alpha dog personality. So you might say superb leadership skill is a key characteristic of the alpha dog personality because they're able to lead, right? You need to expound on that, of course, but that's just a basic you know, one sentence analysis of how you go about ensuring that the readers can see the relationship between the subtopic and the subject, right? And you should also try to do that with the different subpoints. Connect them to each other and show how these things together make up the whole, which is the subtopic, right? So, a component is a part of a whole, and when we say component, we're just talking about one piece of the pie, right? So we have two examples here. The CD player is one component of a stereo system. There's many other components to a stereo system. That is just one of the many things that makes up a stereo system. It's the same thing for a captain is one component of a team. There are many people on the team. The captain is just one component of that team. So now we're moving on to the meat of the matter, the topic to sentence outline. So what does that include? And we'll go through it step by step. So the topic is the main subject to be discussed. As I said earlier, the example that I gave was the alpha dog personality, right? That was the main topic. But in this case, for the purpose of this particular sentence outline that I included in this presentation, the topic will be meditation, right? Meditation. So this is the subject that we will be discussing throughout the essay or throughout the sentence outline. And it is important to understand that an essay only has one sentence outline, right? It only has one sentence outline, and that gives you a pretty good idea of what will be in the essay itself. All right. So after the topic is very broad. Meditation is a very broad topic. You need to narrow down that topic, right? So you need to think about, how can I make this topic more specific? How can I make this essay more doable? Because you cannot discuss a broad topic. You're going to be writing forever. So when you narrow down your topic, you're making it more specific. So in this case, since the topic is meditation, we can narrow it down to three elements of meditation, right? So the three elements are the subpoints slash the subtopics. And these three elements have allowed us to narrow down what we need to discuss in the essay, right? So the subtopic slash points, um, that's just three or more points that should be discussed in the essay. And as you see below here, I've broken down meditation into 3 points that would be discussed in the essay about meditation, right? So focused attention, relaxed breathing, and quiet setting, these are all elements of meditation. And quick tip, guys, do not stress yourself about where can I find this information. Literally, just Google it. All you need to do is Google it, and I'm pretty sure you're going to find the things that you're looking for. Of course, read through the information, sort through it first so that you can find the accurate information, right? So you would type in three elements of meditation in Google, and then you will see a list of things pop up. Make sure you go down the Google line or whatever you call it, and make sure that the information is accurate. Make sure that you see more than one article that outlines these three different elements, right? That's how you know that it's a legit breakdown and it's not just random elements that are being thrown around. So the subpoints are the things that that you will discuss in your essay, and these are the three things that I've chosen to discuss in the essay about meditation, right? The three elements of meditation. Now we move on to the thesis statement, which is the third thing on the sentence outline. I included subpoints earlier, but this comes afterward, right? But because I had made mention of subpoint on this slide, that's why I explained what the subpoints are. But after topic comes narrowed topic. After narrowed topic comes your thesis statement. And by now, at this stage, high school or college, we should know what a thesis statement is. And a thesis statement simply summarizes the focus of the essay. So once I read this brief sentence, I should know what I am expecting out of this essay, what topics are going to be, subtopics are going to be explained in the essay or discussed in the essay, right? So, of course, because we're talking about analysis by division, it must include the vocabulary of analysis by division, which we will also discuss as we move along. You can't just write any old thesis statement. When you write your thesis statement, we must see words in there, or a word at least in there, that comes from the analysis by division vocabulary list, which I will share with you, right? It should also include your topic, and it should also include your three or 4 subtopics. Or if you have more subtopics, it should include all of your subtopics, the topic of your essay, and key vocabulary from analysis by division. So I have a number of sample thesis statements here about meditation. The first one I have is that meditation comprises key elements such as focused attention, relaxed breathing, and a quiet setting. So my topic is there, meditation, right? My 3 subpoints are there, focused attention, relaxed breathing, a quiet setting. And I have comprises and elements which are vocabulary from analysis by division. So I have 3 more sample thesis statements. Focused attention, relaxed breathing, and a quiet setting are 3 elements of meditation. So I have my 3 subtopics. The word elements, that is a vocabulary from our analysis by division vocabulary list, and meditation, our topic, right? So all of these 3 things are there in my thesis statement. So I'll just quickly go through the next two. 3 elements of meditation are focused attention, relaxed breathing, and a quiet setting. And the last one, meditation is characterized by focused attention, relaxed breathing, and a quiet setting. So for this last one, the vocabulary sorry there is characterized. And for the second to the last one, elements is our analysis by division vocabulary. But in any case, my topic is in all of them. My 3 subpoints are in all of them, and I have vocabulary from the analysis by division vocabulary list. Then we move on to our topic sentence, right? So our topic sentence now is going to be placed in a little chart that looks like this. And our topic sentence also goes along with our subpoints, right? So remember I said earlier that the subpoint does not come before the thesis statement, that it comes after. And this is what I mean. The subpoints on the topic sentences, they should be placed in a table, right? So for each of your subpoint, you must have a topic sentence, and that topic sentence is the first sentence in your paragraph for each of them, right? So the topic sentence basically summarizes what the paragraph is going to be discussing. So here we have focus attention, relaxed breathing, and quiet setting, which are my 3 subpoints that I mentioned earlier. I've created a topic sentence for each of them. Like I said, I'm not sure if I explained it, but this is not going to be perfect, but I think it gives a pretty good understanding or a pretty good idea of what is expected when you create your topic sentence and how you go about finding your subpoints, right? So even though you might say, okay, but it can be done better, yes, definitely there may be room for improvement. However, this gives a good understanding and you can build upon this knowledge that you're getting from this video. So for focused attention, I have focused attention is one element of meditation. For relaxed breathing, I have another element of meditation is relaxed breathing. And then I have a quiet setting is also a component of meditation. And in all 3 of them, you guys will see that I have um, the topic in there, which is meditation, right? I have the subpoint in each one of them. You're able to see the subpoint. So whether it's focused attention, whether it's relaxed breathing, or a quiet setting, you can see those clearly stated in the topic sentences. And I know you also see there, right, that I have the language or the vocabulary from the analysis by division vocabulary list, right? So the first one we have is one element, right? So element is our vocabulary there. The second one, I also use element. And then the last one, I use component, right? So you don't have to stick with the same vocabulary for all three, but make sure that the word that you use can be used interchangeably with the word that's in your thesis statement. So I have elements in my thesis statement. I use element at least twice, and I use something that can be used to mean the same thing as element, which is component in this case, right? So these are the three things that must be in your topic sentence. It's almost the same as your thesis statement. Remember that you should include your topic, your subpoints, and your language or your analysis by division vocabulary in your thesis statement. And it's the same thing for your topic sentence. It has to include all of those in there, right? So let's do another one, another example. The topic here is organic farming, right? So when we narrow down organic farming, because organic farming is a very broad topic, obviously, what about organic farming? But remember in the beginning, we said that when we use analysis by division, we're trying to focus on the characteristics of something. What is that thing made up of, right? What can that thing be broken down into? Right? So that's what we're looking for in this case. We want to know what are the components of this thing? What is it made up of? So I narrowed down the topic to three principles of organic farming. Three principles of organic farming. So the thesis statement that I chose was the principle of ecological balance, the principle of health, and the principle of fairness are essential to organic farming, right? So now we've understood from the thesis statement that these things that I'm going to be discussing in my essay, they're very important to this particular subject. They make up this particular subject. There's something there that's related to this particular subject. It has a very huge impact on this particular subject, right? So I didn't go into all three of the subpoints and topic sentence. I only did one as example because I didn't want to make this video too long, and it's a little bit too long already for my liking, right? But principle is the language there. It's a vocabulary for analysis by division. And if you notice in my thesis statement, I also have essential, which is also a key vocabulary in thesis. Sorry, not thesis statement, but in analysis by division, right? So principle and essential, these are vocabulary of analysis by division, which are also included in my thesis statement. So the subpoint that I chose to do a topic sentence on was the first one, the principle of ecological balance. It states ecological balance is one of the key principles of organic farming. So again, we have our topic, which is organic farming. We have our subpoint, which is ecological balance. And then we have our language for analysis by division, which um, are key and principles, right? So those are the keywords from our analysis by division vocabulary, right? So it should be very easy from this point onward to go ahead and write your topic sentences. Just make sure you include the topic, the subpoint, and the language in your topic sentence. And make sure you choose the appropriate Make sure you choose the appropriate language as well, because I chose principle here, but I could have also chose characteristics of organic farming. I just wanted to do something a little bit different for this particular example. But you can choose any one that you think fits best, and once you place it into Google, hint hint, this is a cheat code. Once you place it into Google, Google will let you know if there's information that you can use for your essay. And if there's not enough information using a particular vocabulary, then you change the vocabulary to something that's going to give you the information you need to write a great essay. Right? So moving on to key vocabulary or the language of analysis by division. So these are some of the words that you can use when applying the analysis by division or trying to identify if a topic requires the analysis by division method instead of another method. So keywords, these are like the main words that you will see in a topic that lets you know that you need to apply the analysis by division method, or these are the keywords that you can use: components, characteristics, parts, aspects, comprises. This lets you know, okay, this particular thing can be broken down, or this particular thing has different components that makes it what it is, right? And then additional words that you can use: vital, constitutes, core, facets, principle, prominent, important part of, essential. And I believe there's more on the internet, but you can write a pretty good essay with most of these terms that are here. And these are terms that I personally use, so I think it works just fine. I think this is the last thing when you write an analysis. And sorry, when you write an analysis by division essay, you need to consider your tone, right? You need to use present tense to describe whatever the subject is. Now, I'm not saying that your entire essay will be in present tense and you can't use any um past tense or future tense or what's not. It all depends on what your writing requires. But when you're addressing the subject itself, the topic itself, it's always going to be in the present tense, right? So for example, here, the one with meditation, we had focused attention is one element of meditation. And then we also have ecological balance is one of the key principles of organic farming, right? So when you address the subject, or when you describe the subject, you have to use present tense. You can't use past tense. We can't say focused attention was one element of meditation, or we can't say ecological balance was one of the key principles of organic farming. And then what you need to understand here is that we can't say those things, because if something is made up of these things, there's no way that it can be described in past tense. If I'm saying that organic farming, not organic farming, let me speak about something that's um let's say the alpha male alpha dog personality, sorry. Superb leadership skills. If I'm saying that to identify the alpha dog personality in a person, the person must display superb leadership skills. Have to The person have to display that kind of skill for me to even consider them to be a part of the alpha male personality group, not group, but to consider them to have the alpha dog personality. So if I'm saying that, then why would I use past tense? Because the person must have that quality. If they don't have that quality, if they're not made up of that leadership skills, then they definitely do not possess the alpha dog personality, right? So I cannot address that in past tense because it's something that's forever going to be there. If I consider you to have the alpha dog personality, you have to have superb leadership skills. And that's how I identify this person though. to have the alpha dog personality. And because you have to have that skill, there's no way I can adjust that in past tense or in future tense. It needs to be something that I discuss in present tense. And the last thing here is to refrain from using should be or must be to describe the subject, right? We can't say focused attention should be one element of meditation or ecological balance must be one key principle of organic farming. No, right? These are indeed elements of meditation and organic farming. They have to be a part of these things. That's why we are discussing them. It's written down in history that these things are a part of what we say they are. And so there's no way we can doubt that by using should be or must be. It's either they are or they aren't. And in this case, in order for you to be a credible writer, a reliable writer, you must cross check the information. You must find evidence that this particular thing is an element of this thing, right? This particular thing makes up this thing. And if they make up this particular thing, then we use present tense to describe that. I don't want to confuse anybody because I feel like the more I speak, the more I confuse people. So I don't want to do that. But thank you guys for watching up to this point. I know it's a long video, but analysis by division is a very complicated topic, and I feel like I needed to give more than one example in order to explain what I meant. But if anyone gets to view this video and you have any questions, just comment in the comment section and I'll try to answer as best as possible. The next thing that I'll try to work on is a sample analysis by division essay. I think even though we now have the vocabulary and this the different information that we need to create the topic to sentence outline, it's still a little bit difficult to apply that in an essay form. So that will be the next thing that I will discuss, right? So just stay tuned and good luck, guys.